All right, get ready because we're diving deep today into the world of bodybuilding. You've given us some great stuff to work with, articles, expert advice, even a podcast clip. We're going to sift through it all, unearth those golden nuggets of knowledge just for you.
Yeah, I was really struck by how interconnected everything is in bodybuilding. It's not just about image, it's nutrition, training, and mindset all working together.
It really is like a three-pronged attack. And speaking of attack, we've got to talk about fueling those muscles. One expert said something like abs are made in the kitchen. That picture, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's such a great way to emphasize that. You can't out-train a bad diet. Nutrition is the foundation. If you're not giving your body the right building blocks, you just won't see the results you're after.
So true. And one thing that surprised me was this one study you gave me on protein timing. It showed that athletes who had a protein shake before that actually recovered better. I always thought late night snacking was a no-go.
Right. It's funny how this deep dive really busts some of those myths. It turns out that timing your protein intake can be just as important as hitting that 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight.
Okay, so protein timing, we got that down. But what about carbs? I mean, there's so much conflicting information out there. One article was all about carb cycling, while another expert recommended consistent carb intake. What's the verdict?
It's interesting, isn't it? There are definitely different schools of thought out there, and what works best can vary a lot, depending on your goals and metabolism. But one thing your sources seem to agree on is that carbs are absolutely essential for health, especially around the workout.
So maybe it's not about fearing carbs, but understanding how and when to use them effectively, almost like knowing the right tool for the job.
Exactly. And let's not forget about water. One of the experts you gave me actually mentioned that even being a little dehydrated can really impact your performance and recovery.
Oh, for sure. We need that H2O to keep everything running smoothly. So it's not just about what we eat, but how hydrated we are. Okay, so you've got your meal plan dialed in, but now comes the real test, putting those nutrients to work. Let's talk about how you optimize your training.
Okay, so one of the first things that really jumped out at me was how much emphasis all the experts put on the mind-muscle connection. They all agreed that it's more important than just lifting heavy weights.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And one expert seemed really concerned about something called ego lifting. What's the big deal with that?
Well, it's that temptation to load up the bar just to impress others. Even if your form suffers as a result, you end up sacrificing quality for quantity. And that increases your risk of injury. And it also limits your gains. It's like trying to build a house on a shaky foundation.
Okay, I get the importance of progressive overload. But one of the articles mentioned the risk of getting hurt. So how do you find that balance between pushing yourself and staying safe?
Well, that's where listening to your body comes in. You need to find that sweet spot, challenging yourself enough to stimulate muscle growth, but not so much that you risk getting hurt. It's a gradual process, and there will definitely be setbacks along the way.
Speaking of setbacks, what about those frustrating plateaus? We all hit them at some point. What did you find out about breaking through those sticking points?
Well, your sources had some great tips. One bodybuilder actually suggested changing things up every day. Trying new exercises, different rep ranges, or incorporating techniques like drop sets and supersets.
Oh yeah, I read about those. Can you refresh my memory on how those work and what the benefits are?
Sure. So with drop sets, you're performing an exercise to failure, then immediately reducing the weight and continuing for a few more reps. This pushes your muscles beyond their normal limits and can really stimulate growth. And then supersets involve performing 2 exercises back to back with little or no reps. This increases intensity and saves time.
So it's like a 1-2 punch for your muscles. Makes sense. But we both know there's more to bodybuilding than just that rep.
Absolutely, there's a whole mental game involved. And that's where we'll pick things up next. Hashtag PTS, the Deep Dive episode 2025-02-22, part 2 of 3.
So we've covered nutrition and training. But there's more to bodybuilding than just the physical side. It's also a mental skill, as you said.
Oh, absolutely. One of your sources even described it as the inner iron temple, building that mental resilience. It's just as crucial as building muscle.
You know, I remember reading about visualization techniques while bodybuilders talking about. visualizing himself winning a competition, and even feeling the weight of the trophy. Have you ever used visualization?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'll visualize myself doing a lift in some form or hitting a new personal best. I think it really helps build confidence. It's like you're creating a mental blueprint for success.
That's really interesting. It's like that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right. So we've got to train our minds as much as our bodies.
Exactly. And one of the biggest mental hurdles is definitely overcoming those setbacks, Everyone faces plateaus and those moments of doubt. The key is to develop strategies to come back.
One of the articles you gave me mentioned reframing negative thoughts. What is that?
It's about challenging those negative thoughts. Instead of saying, I'll never be able to do this, you frame it as, this is challenging, but I'm getting stronger every day. It's about shifting your perspective and focusing on your progress, no matter how you feel.
It's like turning those mental obstacles into stepping stones.
Precisely. And another really powerful tool is remembering your why. Why did you start this bodybuilding journey? Connecting with that deeper motivation. It can really fuel your determination.
That reminds me of something one of the experts said. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, and others you'll struggle to get out of bed. That's normal. Just keep showing up. Like, consistency is key, even when motivation is low.
For sure, discipline is what gets you through those days when you just want to stay in bed. And don't underestimate the power of a supportive community. It could be a training partner, a coach, or even an online group. Having people who understand your journey can make all the difference.
Absolutely. And speaking of journeys, one question that came up a lot in your research was how to balance bodybuilding with a busy life. It's something a lot of us struggle with, right?
It is. It's a very real challenge. I think the key is to make fitness a non-negotiable part of your schedule. Treat your workouts like important meetings, and plan your meals in advance. That way you avoid those impulsive, unhealthy choices.
So it's about being proactive and intentional with our time.
Exactly. And remember, even those short but intense workouts can be really effective. It's about quality over quantity.
Yeah, I like that. Finding those pockets of time and making them count. Now, before we wrap up, I want to touch on something that often gets overlooked. The mental health aspects of bodybuilding. Some of your sources actually highlighted both the positive and the potential negative impacts.
Yeah, it's an important topic. On the one hand, bodybuilding can really boost your self-esteem and your confidence, and it promotes discipline and structure, and it can also be a healthy outlet for stress.
I can definitely relate to that. Having a fitness routine has made a huge difference in my own mental well-being.
Right, but it's also crucial to be aware of the potential downsides too. Some people can develop an unhealthy obsession with body image, and that can lead to body dysmorphia or disordered eating.
It's a good reminder that balance is key. Fitness should enhance our lives, not consume them. And it's important to seek help if we notice ourselves slipping into unhealthy patterns.
Absolutely. And it's also important to be mindful of social media and its potential to fuel negative comparisons. Remember that everyone's journey is unique, and progress takes time.
Yeah, it's about focusing on our own goals and celebrating our own achievements and not getting caught up in the highlight reels of others.
Now, you've absorbed so much information from all these sources. What are some of the key takeaways that have stood out to you?
Well, one overarching theme is the importance of individualization. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to bodybuilding. What works for one person might not work for another. It's about finding what's sustainable and enjoyable for you.
So it's like a journey of self-discovery, not just a physical transformation.
Exactly. And it's an ongoing process. What works for you today might need to change down the line. Be open to experimenting and listening to your body and seeking guidance from knowledgeable people.
That makes sense. We're constantly evolving, and our approach to fitness should evolve with us. What other insights have emerged from your deep dive?
The importance of patience and persistence was another big one. Building muscle and transforming your body takes time and dedication. There will be setbacks, plateaus, and those moments of doubt.
It's about embracing the journey, not just chasing the destination. And it's about celebrating those small victories along the way. Every rep, every healthy meal, every time you push past your comfort zone, it's all a step in the right direction.
I love that. Finding joy in the process, not just the outcome. So for someone just starting their bodybuilding journey and maybe feeling a little overwhelmed, what advice would you give them?
I would say start by identifying your goals. What do you want to achieve? Then find some good sources of information and be willing to experiment.
So having a clear vision, doing your research, and not being afraid to try things out.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for help from experienced coaches or trainers. They can really help you create a personalized plan and avoid some of those common pitfalls.
Yeah, having that support system can be so valuable, especially in the beginning.
For sure. And remember, consistency is key. Make fitness a non-negotiable part of your routine and focus on building the sustainable habits.
Small changes, consistently applied over time, can lead to remarkable results.
Well, this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from the science of muscle growth, the psychology of peak performance. As we wrap things up, what final thoughts would you like to leave our listener with? Hashtag TTS The Deep Dive, episode 2025-02-22, part 3 of 3. So, we've explored it all. Nutrition, training, even that inner iron temple. After all this, what stands out the most to you?
It's been quite a journey, right?
What will you focus on to reach your own fitness goals?
I think maybe you're fired up about fine-tuning your nutrition now.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're itching to try those drop sets and superfets. Or maybe, and this is what I find so interesting, you're ready to cultivate that unbreakable mindset.
Yeah, it's all connected. Bodybuilding is so much more than just a physical transformation. It's really personal growth.
Exactly. It's pushing boundaries, physical and mental.
Yeah.
And what's so inspiring is that this is for everyone. It doesn't matter your age or experience or current fitness level. You can do this. You can step into this world and discover your own strength. Absolutely. So if you're feeling that fire, don't let it fade. Maybe you're curious about specific training programs now, or the science behind muscle growth, or how to reach peak performance. There's so much to learn.
Yeah, keep learning, keep pushing, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
And remember, every rep, every healthy meal, every time you choose discipline, you're building a stronger, healthier you. Until next time, stay strong.